The idea that it's possible is more than enough reason for you to do it. Get to it. Sunrise Thoughts, brought to you by 348 Select. On today's episode of Morning Brew, a Winning Routine, we are joined by Matthew Edwards, here to give us his insight on how to brew the perfect working environment for success. Matthew is well known for his work with various brands, where he's given his take on what a sustainable sneaker would look like, from the time when he used to upload his renders online to him working with one of the biggest sneaker brands in the world. He's continued to tap into the idea of a sustainable future by focusing his studio output on this, with various products such as the Stan Smiths he did for Adidas SA to the stool he made from recycled plastic bottles for Boss Iced Tea. But his most notable product is the Facet Pendant Light, which he coined the process to be a digitally handmade light. Matt, coming from an industrial design background, has gone far and wide by being in almost every creative occupation within design. He's even done branding work for fashion brand Wanda Labot. Thank you, Matthew, for joining us today on Morning Brew, hosted by myself, Rosima Donzad.
Matthew here from Matt, Experimental Design Studio, Johannesburg, South Africa. I'm an industrial designer, product designer. Studied at the University of Johannesburg, finished in 2012. And since then I've sort of been a bit all over the place, becoming quite a generalist designer, from working as a graphic designer, to art directing, to product design, and now I'm sort of in a space that's looking at material research. My own brand, Matt, is a space for sort of creative expression, where I make anything from experimental sneakers to ceramic lights to graphic design. It's a space where I'm able to sort of freely tackle certain issues or ideas that I have and create products from them and market them through that brand. Also co-founded a material research brand called Big Circle Studios, which is a not-for-profit based out of Victoria Yards. I've been working in the design space for about 5 years now, in various fields, from industrial design to graphic design to design research, and sort of shifting and pivoting along the way, finding my niche.
Make do. The act of making is in turn the act of doing. So at all times, make do. Make the attempt to make it your own. Worst case scenario, your design alteration is only 3%, and that could mean you creating at a Virgil level. Minimum tweaks create new ideas. In understanding it holistically, you are in turn able to advance it with new material choices you choose to keep or add. Make do.
My winning formula, I guess it sort of stems out of a curiosity of how to make things, and sort of a willingness to try things on my own. I've got a sort of phrase that I really like, which is make do. And that stems out of this idea that we have various tools around us, no matter what sort of position we're in, and whether we have a sort of fully stocked workshop or a sort of kitchen, we're able to make or bring our ideas to life in that space. So making do with what we've got as a concept of sort of creation, that's really, really interesting for me, and I love that. I love how that changes and creates unique sort of outputs throughout the creative process. So I'd say that is quite interesting, sort of embracing that as a formula for making successful products. But also just collaboration, understanding that there are certain things that need to be made by specialists, finding those people and sort of collaborating to bring the idea to life. Also really feel attached to this idea of experimentation and creating something new, be it like visual or material. And I think that really resonates with people when they see that you've sort of been pushing the boundaries of what's possible. what they think is possible.
From designing it, making it, then customizing it. And that's not the end. He goes the extra mile to brand it and package it. Mr. Make Do himself, whether it's recycled bottles, grass, or software, is definitely a part of creative gold at the end of the rainbow. Matt's story is one that is synonymous with innovators. He's always looking for the loophole. The design can't end with what the company releases. It's about what it can be for him. His design language is being truly solution-driven. So with everything you do as a creative, at its core, be the answer, be the solution.
I stay driven by having a goal, I think, which is to become a successful designer, someone that has an impact in society, be it changing people's minds about materials and the environment, or challenging preconceptions about what sustainability is, and also what's possible in the Johannesburg space. And, I think keeping an idea of where you want to be is a really good way of staying driven. Also having an incredible support system, people that are rooting for you, that always helps too. So yeah, I'd say those pretty much cover what keeps me going every day. And again, just like the idea of curiosity too is what I spoke about earlier, this sort of idea of wanting to improve things, wanting to make the situation better from a design point of view. They say industrial design sort of created the environmental problem that we're facing today with the likes of plastic pollution and mass consumerism, designed for obsolescence. It's essentially, someone created this, well, a group of people created this mess, and I think it's up to designers to come up with certain solutions for it. So that's also another another good driver, is like addressing the needs of our world at the moment in terms of the sustainability point of view. Design is it's so powerful as a tool because we can solve for sustainability issues within our products if we take the time and upskill ourselves in that way.
The idea of addition intertwines with that of repetition. The idea that you can do it more than once, the idea that you can keep getting it better, is at its core what drives Matt and his work. Upskilling in order to know more and do more as a creative is the best way to stay at your optimum. Thank you for listening to this episode of Matthew Edwards. You can support the show by subscribing to our YouTube channel, 348 Select. The soundtrack for this series has been produced by Dubula. The show is recorded and edited by Msindi Swesiu.